You want to be rich, of course you do, but your obsession with money is the exact reason you don't have it. Every self-made millionaire will tell you the same thing. The moment they stopped chasing money, money started chasing them. Stop chasing money. And I know that sounds like motivational nonsense, but in the next few minutes, I'm going to prove it to you with psychology, neuroscience, and real wealth research. Your relationship with money is broken, and until you fix it, no amount of hard work will save you. As the Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more that is poor." What you're about to discover will fundamentally change how you think about wealth. Let me ask you something. How much of your day do you spend thinking about money you don't have? Be honest. Most people wake up thinking about bills. They go to work thinking about paychecks. They lie in bed at night calculating what they can't afford. You are literally training your brain to focus on financial lack. And that's not just philosophy, that's neuroscience. Your reticular activating system, the filter in your brain that decides what you notice, is being shaped by your obsession. When you constantly think about not having enough, your brain filters reality to confirm that belief. You miss opportunities. You overlook connections. You stay blind to the very things that could change everything. Your money obsession is a mental prison you built for yourself. The wealthy don't think about money the way you do. They think about problems worth solving. They think about value. They think about impact. As the legendary Warren Buffett once put it, if you don't find a way to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. But the real question is, how do you escape this trap? And that brings us to something buried deep inside your subconscious. Before you were 7 years old, your brain absorbed everything your parents said about money, every argument about bills, every whispered worry about debt, every time they said we can't afford that. Programmed for poverty. Those moments didn't just hurt. They installed belief systems that are running your financial life right now, this very second. Psychologist Bruce Lipton's research on subconscious programming reveals that 95% of your daily behavior comes from programs installed before age 7. You're not making financial decisions. Your childhood programming is making them for you. Your subconscious mind is running a poverty program you never chose. Think about it. When you see something expensive, what's your first reaction? If it's "I can't afford that" or "that's too much," that's not logic talking. That's programming. Programming. And here's what makes it truly devastating. You cannot outwork bad programming. You can hustle 16 hours a day, but if your subconscious believes you don't deserve wealth, you will sabotage every opportunity that comes your way. As Carl Jung wisely observed, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. But what if there's a way to rewrite the code? What the truly wealthy focus on might surprise you. Here's what separates the wealthy from everyone else. They don't chase money. They chase problems worth solving. Every single dollar you've ever earned came from solving someone's problem. Your salary exists because you solve your employer's problem. A business exists because it solves its customers' problems. The bigger the problem you solve, the more money naturally flows to you. It's that simple. And yet, most people spend their entire careers focused on the wrong side of the equation. They obsess over getting money instead of creating value. Create value, not desire. Steve Jobs didn't build Apple because he dreamed of being a billionaire. He built it because he was obsessed with making technology beautiful and accessible. The billions were a byproduct. If this is starting to shift how you see your finances, hit like and subscribe to reprogram more of your money blocks, because the next one might be the belief holding you back the most. As Jobs himself once said, your work is going to fill a large part of your life, and the only way to be truly satisfied is to do what you believe is great work. But there's an even deeper layer to this puzzle that most people completely miss. Let me ask you something uncomfortable. How does money make you feel? Not think, feel. Because for most people, money triggers anxiety, guilt, shame, or even anger. Your emotional relationship with money determines your financial reality. Research in behavioral economics shows that financial decisions are 80% emotional and only 20% rational. You don't manage money with spreadsheets. You manage it with your nervous system. When money makes you anxious, you hoard it. When it triggers guilt, you spend it recklessly. When it brings shame, you avoid looking at your bank account altogether. Your emotions are sabotaging every financial decision you make. And here's the cruel irony. The more obsessed you become with money, the more emotional charge it carries. The more emotional charge it carries, the worse your decisions become. It's a vicious cycle that keeps millions of people trapped in the same place year after year. Fear drives poor decisions. As the philosopher Epicurus taught thousands of years ago, wealth consists not in having great possessions, but in having few wants. The wealthy have neutralized their emotional charge around money. And that emotional neutrality is exactly what we need to explore next. There's a principle in psychology called the paradox of desire. The more desperately you want something, the further it moves away from you. Paradox. Think about dating. When you're desperate, people can sense it. They pull away. But when you're genuinely confident and detached from the outcome, people are naturally drawn to you. Money works the exact same way, not in some mystical sense, but in a very practical one. When you're desperate for money, you make terrible decisions. You accept bad deals. You stay in toxic jobs. You invest based on emotion instead of strategy. Detachment is not giving up on wealth. It is releasing the desperation that blocks it. Buddhist philosophy has taught this for over 2,000 years. Attachment to outcomes creates suffering. And in financial terms, that suffering looks like chronic stress, poor decisions, and a scarcity mindset that repels every opportunity that comes near you. Release the grip. As the Buddha himself taught, the root of suffering is attachment, but detachment alone isn't enough. You also need to understand a critical distinction that 99% of people get completely wrong. Being rich and being wealthy are not the same thing, and confusing the two is one of the most expensive mistakes you will ever make. Rich is temporary. Rich is a number in your bank account. Wealthy is a state of mind. Rich people can go broke overnight. Just look at lottery winners. Studies show that nearly 70% of lottery winners go bankrupt within 5 years. They got the money, but they never developed the mindset to keep it. Wealth is about understanding the relationship between value, time, and freedom. It's about building systems that generate income whether you're awake or asleep. It's about seeing money as a tool, not a trophy to display. Wealthy people build systems, while rich people build lifestyles. As the legendary Robert Kiyosaki explained, the rich buy assets. The poor buy liabilities that they think are assets. When you stop trying to get rich and start building genuine wealth, everything shifts. Your identity is the invisible ceiling on your bank account. And that transformation begins with something most people completely ignore. Here's a truth that will either set you free or make you furious. You don't get wealthy and then change your identity. You change your identity first, and then you get wealthy. Identity. Every behavior, every habit, every decision you make flows from who you believe you are at your core. If you identify as someone who struggles with money, you will always find creative ways to struggle with money. If you identify as someone who naturally attracts abundance, your brain starts filtering for opportunities that confirm that new belief. You will never outperform your self-image, no matter how hard you try. Psychologist Maxwell Maltz proved this in his groundbreaking research. He found that people consistently perform at the level of their self-image, never their true potential. Change the story inside. So how do you actually shift your identity? It starts with 3 fundamental changes. 1. Replace "I can't afford it" with "How can I afford it?" 2. Study wealthy minds until their thinking becomes yours. 3. Make one decision today your future wealthy self would make. As the philosopher William James wrote, "The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes of mind." But there's a dimension to wealth that goes even deeper than identity itself. What if I told you that money is not a thing, it's a flow? An exchange of energy between human beings. Money is not something you possess, it is something that moves through you. When you hoard money out of fear, you stop the flow. When you spend recklessly out of anxiety, you drain it. But when you learn to let money circulate with intention and purpose, something remarkable happens. It multiplies. Flow, not fear. And this isn't just spiritual talk, it's fundamental economics. Money was literally designed to move. The word currency comes from the Latin currere, which means to flow. When you block that flow with obsession, fear, or desperate hoarding, you create stagnation. And stagnation is exactly where poverty lives and thrives. Money flows to those who create circulation, not to those who build dams. As the brilliant Nikola Tesla once said, if you want to find the secrets of the universe, think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. Your relationship with money is an energy exchange, and right now yours is broken. But understanding this principle alone won't change your bank account. You need concrete steps to actually rewire the pattern. Let's get practical. Understanding the problem is powerful, but solving it is what actually changes your life. Here are the exact mental shifts that will begin reprogramming your relationship with money, starting today. First, gratitude. Instead of counting what you lack, count what you already have. Neuroscience shows that gratitude literally rewires your brain's reward system. When you practice daily gratitude for what you already possess, you shift from scarcity to abundance at the neural level. Second, replace money goals with contribution goals. Stop saying, I want to make $1 million, and start asking, how can I serve 1 million people? The money always follows the value, always. Third, audit your money story. Write down every belief you hold about money and ask yourself honestly, where did this belief come from? Is it truly mine, or was it installed by someone else? The beliefs you never question are the ones controlling your entire life. Question every belief. As the great Socrates taught us, the unexamined life is not worth living, and the unexamined money story is certainly not worth repeating, which brings us to the most important truth of all. Here's what everything we've discussed comes down to. Money is not the goal. Money was never the goal. Freedom. What you truly want is freedom. Freedom of time. Freedom of choice. Freedom to live life entirely on your own terms. And the greatest irony in all of this is that the more you obsess over the tool, the further you drift from the destination. Stop worshiping the map and start walking the path. When you release your death grip on money and redirect that energy toward creating real value, developing your skills, and genuinely serving others, something powerful happens. The money comes, not because of some cosmic law of attraction, but because you finally aligned your actions with how wealth actually works in the real world. Value creates wealth always. You walked into this video obsessed with money. Let this be the exact moment everything shifts inside you. Walk out obsessed with growth, with contribution, with becoming the kind of person that money simply cannot help but follow. As Marcus Aurelius wrote in his private journal, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Your mind is either programmed for wealth or poverty. Now you know how to reprogram it. If you made it this far, you already think differently from 95% of people. Prove it. Comment detached if you're ready to release your obsession with money and start building real wealth. Detached and wealthy. Remember, you are not a victim of your finances. You are the programmer of your mind. And from this moment forward, you hold the code.